Welcome, welcome, welcome to Leadershipisation, all things leadership. My name is Beth Bergen and I'm a global leadership and communication coach. My jam is to build influential leaders. I like working, or I do work, with executives, with managers, and with business owners. And what I'm doing is I'm building their influence through powerful leadership and communication so that they can lead a cohesive team, they can drive the results that their organization or company might want, and they can increase their visibility in their own organization and also in their industry. And I am here most Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's when you can join me live. However, there is always a recording that you can go back to have a look if you missed the live session. So, what are we talking about today? Look, some leaders, and often new ones, but also people who've been leaders for some time, absolutely lose their credibility in the first 5 to 10 minutes of a meeting. And they do this because of the words they choose to use. That's a lot to think about. Words like, look, I'm only new here, but if this phrase and saying sorry is your default, then it's time for us to change that script for you. Because as a leader, especially a leader who's new to a role, it can be really easy to get caught up in those language traps and to be apologizing for yourself all the time without actually realizing it. And that's the topic of today's leadershipisation. So let's examine this. New leaders and others, so every time I say new leaders, I'm going to say and others, often sabotage their credibility with apologetic language. And what's really important is that you think about replacing sorry with thank you. So instead of saying, oh, sorry, I'm so sorry that I'm late, it's actually about saying, thank you for your patience. I really appreciate you waiting for me. Yeah. Thank you for your patience. I really appreciate you waiting for me. Now, it's not only sorry that we use, it's phrases like, look, I'm only new here, but dot, dot, dot. Oh, sorry to interrupt. Or this might not be right, but I was thinking. Now, whenever we use those kinds of phrases, what we do is we actively undermine ourselves. We actively undermine ourselves, and that then weakens our authority because it's like we're apologizing for taking up space. It's like we're apologizing for having an opinion. And that's the message. That's the very clear message that many of those who are listening to us get, because we're going, look, I'm only new here. Or, oh, yeah, this might not be right, but I was thinking. Or, oh, look, I'm really sorry to interrupt. Now, what I've got, and reach out if you would like it, I've got 5 of these phrases and 5 examples of how we would reframe those phrases so they were positive. Yeah? Reach out if you would like us to send that to you. Now, confidence is key. That's the thing. Confidence is key. And that doesn't mean that you have to be the loudest person in the room. It simply means that you need to be fully present and you need to be really clear about the message that you want to send. So it's about rewording statements so that they build confidence rather than undermining you. It's about you engaging positively, knowing your stuff, and being prepared to back yourself. So it's none of that uncertain language. It's about being quite assertive and making your point. So, what's important for you to do here is to replace every single apology with that appreciation and that assertiveness. And as I said before, instead of sorry, 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 it's about thank you for your patience. If you don't know what's happening, ask questions like this. To clarify, could you please expand on, and ask the question, which is, that would replace, oh, look, I don't know. I'm just new here. Don't apologize for yourself first. Ask a question like, to clarify, could you please expand on whatever it is? Now, what this does, when what you do is you replace the apologies with the appreciation and the assertiveness, what this does is it maintains your confidence and your value. The other thing that's really important, and this is a huge communication tool and what I would consider to be an important tool in your leadership intelligence toolbox, and that is to remember that silence is golden, the power of the pause. Make your point and pause. Recognize that less is more. You don't need to talk it over. Last week or the week before in Leadershipisation, all things leadership, we talked about justification and how important it is to not be justifying every single decision that you make. So pause, allow people time to process what you've said to them, allow people time to develop their response. And that then also gives them time and the chance to speak. So use that pause really effectively for yourself. The other thing I love about pauses is that they build clarity. So you get that really good clarity. And from there, you build confidence. You build confidence in your own role. And it's easier for you the next time you go to a meeting to be speaking up without playing small. And that's what's really important. We don't want you playing small, because what we know is that your words either build your authority or else they chip away at it. So when you stop apologizing for being in the room, you start actually leading the room. You're there with the leaders in the room. So what's really important here is that you stop apologizing for yourself in meetings. To do this, you notice and you change your language. Now, rather than giving you the 5 examples now where I read out, here's the apologetic one, here's the assertive one, reach out and we will send you those 5 examples, and they cover all areas of your life. Remember that assertive, clear communication builds that respect, it builds that trust, and really importantly, it builds your authority and your visibility. And that's what it's all about. We want you to be a leader who has authority as a leader and who is really visible. So if you want some support or some coaching to build your confidence communicating as a leader, then let's connect. Let's connect. Reach out. I do group or individual coaching programs that have been proven to get results. They absolutely make a difference. In the meantime, notice what you are noticing about yourself and shift from the apology to the assertive language. So it's all about saying thank you. It's all about saying, just to clarify, can you explain that again for me, please? You know that you can do this bit by bit. I know that you can do this bit by bit. So, as I said, reach out and let's connect. Thank you for joining us today. It's shorter than we usually have because this is a critical point and I don't want to labor on it too much. And I also want to absolutely encourage you, reach out and we will send you your copy of those 5 statements that I've turned from apologetic to assertive for you. If you've got comments, pop them in, or questions, pop them in the platform that you're watching this on. If you're watching a replay, please watch #replay. We'll make sure that we put a 30-minute link to have a meeting with me if you're interested in reaching out. But in the meantime, enjoy a fabulous week moving into the month of October, which here in Australia means that we are getting well into spring. So the weather is absolutely glorious. Enjoy the week. I'll see you next week. Bye now.